Hi, this is Carrie Margaret of Love Notes, and today I want to talk to you about how to make all of your life better. Now, James and Sue Ann Pulowski, really frontiers in the positive psychology movement, talk about the one keystone habit, multiple, but one in particular that's really important in having sustainable, long-lasting, happy, passionate relationships. And that concept is savoring. And I want to pull that concept out into the rest of your life. Now, what does savoring look like? This morning I was running on the beach in Southern California, and I usually will put on either an audiobook or some music or maybe a book note. I'm a big fan of Philosopher Notes, Brian Johnson's brainchild that summarizes books. And so I usually will run listening to something. And today I just stopped at one point in my run, literally stopped, and noticed right in front of me there were these long beak birds. I think they might have been called curfews. I'm not sure what type of bird they are, but these long beak birds right where the surf was breaking and there was, the foam over the water, and they were kind of like digging in, getting whatever creature eating on the shores. And I just noticed this total silence and calm. And I took my headphones out and stopped my run and just stopped for a moment and really felt where I was and just absorbed the feeling of the freshness of the freshness of the morning air, the quality of the light, and the curfews, running, or whatever the actual bird was, if it wasn't curfews, running along the coast in front of me, and just took this moment to completely savor that beautiful nature and these amazing birds and just really feel it. And there was a lightness to it and an expansiveness and a joy. And then I left my headphones out for the rest of my run and just ran, looking at the ocean, watching the surfers, kids playing at the coast, and just was really present to the beauty of the coastline as I was finishing up my run. And I put down my headphones and I went and I got in the water and felt the coldness of the water, and saw how the light reflected down in the water, and parts of it were clear and parts of it were seafood. And I just had all these moments of total presence. And people talk a lot about mindfulness, and I think that the word mindful or mindfulness almost feels like work. It feels like something that we have to work at. Oh, we have to work at being mindful, versus the word savoring that I've been playing a lot with lately. Is it's a lot more fun to savor a moment than to try to be mindful. So it's a little bit of a wordplay, but just think about that too. Like when you're savoring a delicious dessert, or savoring a piece of fruit, or savoring a moment with somebody that you love. There's a deliciousness about that. There's about that level of presence. It's got totally great for everybody where mindfulness works more, but it's got this other feel to it, this other quality to something that's kind of similar, but it just feels like kind of this decadent enjoyment. And what's amazing as you start to savor moments more with your partner or throughout your day is the way that your brain actually works, the way that things work. The more that you savor different moments and savor different experiences, they could be totally healthy foods, or they could be just laughing with a friend or listening to a great song and dancing. And the more that you savor these moments, the more these moments start to present themselves. because Rick Hansen talks about this in his work on positive neuroplasticity. That the way that neuroplasticity works is in your mind, in your brain, you've got all of these neurons that are firing together, and they create these circuits, and they're almost like these ruts in your brain. Like when you tend to get into rumination or tend to get into negative thoughts, like it's easier to sort of get into those ruts over time, because it's like like the Grand Canyon has been formed. The Grand Canyon, which is amazing, has been like formed over time by like just drops of water creating like these ruts. And like you have these different ruts in your brain that are a lot more flexible and plastic than the Grand Canyon. They're more kind of like these grooves in sand, that can be shifted. But what shifts them is actually creating different types of responses and different types of experiences. So the more that you savor, the more you find things to savor. And the more you find yourself going throughout your days and savoring things. And you could also call that being present to life or mindfulness, but the more all of a sudden life starts to have more of a light feel, more of an abundant feel, more of a joyful feel. So it's, in savoring things, let's say that you love comedy. Like if you, I love stand-up. If you start to, and I notice too, the more that I watch or listen to stand-up, like the funnier life seems. But same thing, the more you have these types of experiences, the more those neurons are firing together, and the more you're actually changing the structure inside of your brain. And, science has, I wrote this down to remember, but science has these top virtues that are concepts that like universally make people feel more fulfilled and happier. And gratitude, hope, and zest are three of them. Gratitude is pretty self-explanatory, feeling grateful. Hope is feeling hopeful that there are going to be more great moments, great things. And zest is kind of like an energy towards life. And the beautiful thing about savoring, I feel that it really incorporates like three of those concepts that make people, that are scientifically proven, to make people feel more fulfilled and happier. So there you go. To make all of your life better, start practicing savoring, and you can just do it one moment at a time, one thing at a time. One really great way to get into savoring the moment, I'll give you two exercises, but one is to really slow down, because when your mind is going a million miles an hour, it's hard to really get in the moment. And one way to really get into the moment is to anchor it in, like to use your breath. That's one of the quickest ways to get into the moment. So you can do a breath exercise. And I forget which study I got this from, but whatever. Where you inhale on, about 6, hold for about 2, and then exhale on about, 7 or so. So you're gonna go inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold your breath. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you do that 4 times, you've brought yourself present and you've actually meditated for 1 minute. And then now that you're more present, if you can just practice looking around and seeing what's great around you right now. One of my favorite ways to notice things and notice how beautiful life can be is how the quality of light changes throughout the day. Morning light is very different than afternoon light, than lunchtime light, afternoon light, evening light. You have like the morning sunrise and like all of this lightness and possibility, and noontime is kind of intense. There's a lot of productive energy around noon, and then into the afternoon, as things start to like settle in, there's kind of a different feel to the light. And then in the evening, as you get into dusk and the cycle closes for the day, again, there's a shift in light. So you can even notice that just around a space, how the light is shifting throughout the day, or whatever, you know, look at birds or flowers or whatever nature you have near you, or throw on a song and just savor, you know, dancing to a great song, or whatever things really light you up that you like to savor. You can actually go beyond this and write down a list. Just like right now, sit down and write down a list of like 10 things that you like love to enjoy, and start doing them and really focusing on savoring, almost like these moments are these delicious bites of food that you're just biting into. So there you go. One scientifically backed and proven idea, you know, from positive psychology in terms of making all of your life better. Enjoy your savoring. Wishing you so well in life and love. You can subscribe here to get more videos, and you can also find out more about me at carriemargaret.com.